Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this beautiful wrap top with freehand cutting. If you want to learn how to make something like this, please keep on watching. So guys, for this wrap top, you're going to be cutting the front first and then you cut the back separately, okay? Now you're going to be dividing your waist into two and then add your necessary seam allowance and then fold. So my client's waist is 33, divided by 2 is 16.5, okay? Plus my allowance, I'm making use of 1.5 inches allowance and then I went ahead to fold. Now the next thing you're going to mark is from the center front, mark waist divided by 4. So what I marked there is 8.25. 33 divided by 4 is 8.25. Now, before I go ahead and continue, I'm going to just go ahead and mark my starting line at the top. I'm making use of 1/2 inch to mark my starting line, okay? When I'm done, I'm going to also go ahead and mark the length of this top. So bear in mind, you are making a wrap top. Most times they are cropped. So it's going to just be around your waist, okay? Or an inch below your waist, not too long, all right? So I'm making use of 19.5 inches length for the wrap top plus 1 inch for folding is going to be 20.5, all right? So I'm marking from my starting line down to 20.5. So this is my client's waist. She's quite a tall person, okay? So yeah, make use of your waist and then or just an inch below your waist. Now, the next thing you're going to do is now to mark that your waist divided by 4 from the center front. So my client's waist is 33, divided by 4 is 8.25, which I just marked, and I'm ruling a starting line. Remember that the folding is your waist divided by 2. And then for this line, you're going to mark your waist divided by 4 from the center front. Now, guys, this new line is going to be our center front line. So from there, I marked my neck round, which is 4, and neck depth, which we are going to be making use of, but just mark it, okay? I made use of 4 inches as well. Next thing I'm going to mark is my client's shoulder divided by 2. And then from there, I'm going to take my shoulder slope, which is 1 inch, and I'm going to take that back to the neck. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to mark my client's armhole. Formula for getting your armhole is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, okay? All right, so that's what I'm going to mark right here. And then I'm going to rule a straight line. Then when I'm done, I'm going to bring down my armhole line because I want it to be on a straight line. I'm going to remark my shoulder divided by 2 on that new chest line. Then I'm going to now bring down my armhole line on a straight line. Now, guys, when you are done with this, next thing you're going to do is to take your armhole curve. So from the chest line, I'm going to go up by 3 inches. From there, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. Then from the shoulder, I'm going to just connect like so. Then back on the chest line, I'm going to mark my client's bust divided by 4. Then I'm going to just complete my armhole curve. Next thing I'm going to do is from the starting line, I'm going to mark shoulder to bust point, which is 11.5, shoulder to under bust, which is 16, then shoulder to waist, which is 19.5. All right. So when I'm done, I'm going to rule a straight line across, and then I'm going to go ahead and take her round measurements. Next, I'm going to do is to mark my round measurements. So on my bust, on my client's bust, I marked her bust round divided by 4. On her under bust, I marked her under bust divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches seam allowance. On the waist, I marked her waist round divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches seam allowance, and I took that all the way down to the length of the top. Now, guys, when you are done with this, next thing you're going to do is that the length of your top, okay, the actual length, you're going to extend this all the way to the front. Okay, now from this actual length, not from the hemming allowance, from the actual length, you're going to go up by 2 inches. Okay, so you can see, go up by 2 inches from that center area. And then you're going to mark the depth of your V. I made use of 8.5, but I still want to reduce this to 9 inches. Okay. So mark the depth of your V, and then from there you're going to just make a curve, a very nice curve, all the way to that point, that place you mark 2 inches upwards, at the center front area. So you can see how I'm connecting it with my ruler. So you want to have something looking like this when you are done. I still went ahead to adjust that V down to 9 inches so that it will like come down a bit. So if you don't want your cleavage to show, you can leave it the way it is. I made use of 8.5 right there. The next thing I did was just to mark my allowance on my armhole, my shoulder, and on that V neck area all the way down to the curve. All right. So when you are done with this, next thing you're going to do is to go ahead and cut it out. So guys, I realized that I made a mistake here. I didn't join that line to my actual seam allowance. So I just went ahead to adjust it right there. That was all I did. And then I went ahead to cut. So guys, you should have something looking like this. Okay, let's get to the back pattern. I'm going ahead to now readjust this, all right, using my client's bust divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches seam allowance. For the front, you're going to make use of the waist divided by 2 plus your seam allowance. For the back, make use of the bust divided by 4 plus your seam allowance. Do not be confused, okay? Now for the back, I'm going to head to fold using my client's bust divided by 4 plus seam allowance. Then I'm going to mark the starting line, making use of 1/2 inch to draft out my starting line. Next, I'm going to mark the length of my top, which is 19.5 plus 1 inch seam allowance 20.5. Now, guys, next thing I'm going to do, remember that the back is not going, it's going to be, center front is going to be on fold, okay? So for the round neck, I made use of 4 inches as well. Then for the depth, I made use of 1 inch. Next thing I'm going to do is to mark my client's shoulder divided by 2. Then from there, I'm going to mark the shoulder slope and connect like so. When I'm done, the next thing I'm going to do is to take her armhole. Formula for getting your armhole is bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So you mark it from the shoulder slope down, then check what you have from the starting line all the way to what you marked and just take it all the way across and then rule a starting line. All right. Now this serves as your chest line. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to bring down your armhole line because I always want this to be on a straight line. I just remark my shoulder divided by 2 on that line and then bring down my armhole line. The next thing I'm going to do is to take my armhole curve. So I'm going to get that armhole divided by 2. At that point, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. Then on the chest line, I'm going to divide by 4. And then I'm going to connect all the dots like so. From the shoulder slope, I'm going to connect with a straight line all the way to that middle armhole. And then I'm going to rule a curve all the way to the chest line area. Now, next thing I'm going to do is to mark my client's shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust. Okay. When I'm done, I'm going to rule a straight line across, and then I'm going to take her round measurements. So on the bust, I'm going to mark her round bust divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches seam allowance. On the under bust, I'm going to take her under bust round divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches seam allowance. On her waist, I'm going to mark her waist divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches seam allowance, and I'm going to connect the lines. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and add my 0.5 inches allowance on the armhole area, on the shoulder, and on the neck area as well. Then when you are done at this point, the next thing you're going to do is to go ahead and cut this out. So guys, you can see how simple it is to just use free hands to cut this out, okay? It's actually very interesting. So if you're a beginner, you can try this out and let me know how it comes out, okay? So this is it for the back. So this is what we have, the front and the back. So you're going to place this like so. Place it together, wrap the front just to see what it looks like. Check if that V-neck area is okay for you. If it's too high, you're going to go ahead and, adjust it, make it a bit lower, just to your choice. Okay. So guys, you can see this is what I have. At this point, I thought that V-neck area was a bit too high, so I still went ahead to adjust it to make it to come down just a little bit. Now guys, next thing I'm going to do is to cut out my sleeve, okay? So I'm marking my starting line, all right? So this sleeve is going to be like a puff sleeve, all right? It's going to be having elastic at the wrist area, okay? So from here, from the starting line, I'm going to mark the length of my sleeve, which is 19. You can make yours as long as possible, okay, if you have enough fabrics. So the length of the sleeve is going to be 19. I just marked 19. Then back at the top, I'm going to mark 5 inches from the center front. And then I'm going to mark her armhole divided by 6 plus 1.5 plus extra 3 inches allowance. Then from there, I'm going to come down by 3 inches and then mark my armhole curve. Then from that point, I'm going to just connect a line all the way down to where this fabric ended. The down part is going to be having an elastic to form like a puffy look, okay? But then the upper part of the sleeve is going to be fitted. It's not going to be pleated, all right? So now, guys, I was actually rushing and I didn't show what I did. What you want to do is when you are done adjusting your neckline the way you want it, go ahead and join by the shoulder and then pipe it all the way around using your bias, okay? Join by the shoulder first, then use your bias to turn the neckline all the way around, okay? Now, when you are done, the next thing you want to do is to just place it very well, arrange it very well, then pin by the sides and then join by the sides. So you can see what the bias is looking like. Just join by the shoulder and then use your bias to turn all the way across, okay? I'm so sorry guys, I was in a hurry and I didn't show this. Now guys, when you're done with joining by the sides, I'm just wanted to show you guys what my sleeve is going to be looking like. For your sleeve, you want to go ahead and like turn the down part, okay? Turn it and leave enough space for your elastic to pass through, okay? Now that aside, the next thing you want to do is to cut out your belt. Make it very long. You can make one belt to be like your waist round, all right? So my client's waist round is 33, so I made each belt 33. You can even add, you can like make it like 35, something like that. So for the weight, I made use of 5 inches, so that when I fold it is going to be 2.5, and I'll use 0.5 inches to join, and then it will be remaining 2 inches width. Okay, so what I'm marking here is 5 inches for the belt, for the 2 belts. This is what I have. Now, when you fold this, you have 2.5. When you join by 0.5, you have 2 inches remaining. Okay, so guys, I wanted to use this to join to my belt just to make it a bit longer. It's really nice when your belts are long and then you can like tile and style it, maybe make it a bow tie by the side, okay? So you can make it long. So add like maybe 5 inches to your waist round for each belt, okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and like fold my belt, join it, give it a very good press, and yeah, I will show you guys the next thing to do. So guys, before you go ahead and join this by the sides, you want to mark out where your belt is going to be passing through. Choose either the left or the right side. Then from there, go up from your hemming by 1 inch, which is your hemming allowance. Mark 2 inches so you can see what I did. So this 2 inches is going to be the space where your belt is going to pass through from your waist and then go around your waist. So I'm going to go ahead and backstitch on those 2 points, and then I'm going to loosen that 2 inches area, so that it's going to be the space for my belt to pass through. Okay, so you can see I've gone ahead to join my sleeves, put my elastic, and there, my belt is ready. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and join my belt to that center point area. So you can see I'm going to be putting that center area in between my belts, in between that space on my belt, and then I'm going to go ahead and top stitch. I'm going to be doing this for the both sides as well. So when you're done with sewing your belt, you're going to be having like an open area on one side. So what you want to do is to fold this inwards and then post this center wrap area inside neatly, arrange it very well neatly, then go ahead and top stitch on top for the both sides. Okay, so you can see that opening. You can see the opening I have. It is 2 inches opening, enough for this 2 inches belt to pass through. So this is how you're going to be tying it on your waist. Okay, pass it through that side, and then it just goes around your waist, then pass it through the back, bring it to the front again, and then tie by one side. So that's how it works. So guys, I'm done with fixing my belts. You can see I'm gonna head to top stitch on both sides, iron out everything, and this is what it's looking like. So guys, hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Hope you learned something today. If you are yet to make a wrap top, this is a sign for you, okay? Try this out and let me know how it came out for you. If you are yet to be subscribed, please do click the subscribe button down below, join the family so that you would, see more tutorials when I post them. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to please like, share, and I will see you on the next tutorial. Bye.